Have you ever wondered what makes some teams just click? You know, they work together seamlessly while others seem to clash at every turn. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on an invisible force that shapes how we all work together. And here's a hint. The secret isn't in some management textbook, it's in our brains.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You're on a team where everything just flows. It's awesome. But then you've probably been on the other kind too, where every little task feels like trying to run through quicksand. So what is that hidden factor that makes all the difference?
And I mean that literally, chemistry. What if the real key to a cooperative, high-performing team isn't just about having the right strategy, but about the actual neurochemicals firing inside our heads?
Okay, let's introduce the main character of our story today, serotonin. You've probably heard of it before, but for our purposes, I want you to think of it as the brain's social glue. It's the little molecule that helps us bond, connect, and just plain work well with other people.
So, what is it exactly? Well, serotonin is a neurotransmitter, which is just a fancy way of saying it's a chemical messenger in your brain. It gets called the feel-good molecule all the time because it's so important for regulating our mood and helping us feel calm, focused, and confident. And as you're about to see, when it comes to social situations, it is an absolute game changer.
Now, this isn't just some nice theory. There's real hard science to back this up. So let's take a look at the actual evidence for serotonin's power to boost what scientists call pro-social behavior, which is basically just our ability to be good team players.
And wow, the findings are incredibly clear. I mean, it's almost night and day. Study after study shows that when our serotonin function is higher, we tend to be way more cooperative, more agreeable, and just more willing to connect with others. And on the flip side, lower serotonin is linked to being more quarrelsome, less cooperative, and sometimes even to impulsive aggression. The connection is just undeniable.
So you might be asking, how in the world did scientists figure this out? Through some really clever experiments. They can use a method called tryptophan depletion, which safely and just temporarily lowers serotonin levels in the brain. And the results are fascinating. People's willingness to cooperate in simple games just plummeted. They were also way quicker to reject what they felt were unfair offers, which shows you their frustration tolerance went way down.
And thanks to modern brain imaging, we can actually see this stuff in action. These scans show how serotonin gets to work in the brain's reward center. What scientists found is that serotonin helps control how we see our own social standing and how we react to things like winning or losing. It's basically the chemical that helps us smoothly navigate the invisible social ladder of any group or team.
Okay, so the science is clear. More serotonin is a very good thing for social interaction, which brings us to the most important question, right? Is there anything we can actually do to boost it? And the answer is a huge yes. Let's get into how you can start fueling your brain for better collaboration starting today.
And the first place we got to start is your diet. See, your brain needs raw materials to make serotonin, and the most critical one is an amino acid called tryptophan. You'll find it in protein-rich foods like fish, chicken, nuts, and even chocolate. But that's not all. Other key players are folate from leafy greens like spinach and omega-3s from fatty fish. They all help in the process.
But this brings us to a really fascinating puzzle. If the key ingredient, tryptophan, comes from protein, you would think that a high-protein, low-carb diet would be perfect for your mood, right? But for a lot of people on these diets, they report the exact opposite. They're irritable and they can't sleep. So what is going on here? The answer lies with an unexpected helper, a nutrient that, let's be honest, often gets a really bad rap, but is absolutely essential for this whole process to work. And that hero is carbohydrates.
Okay, so here's the deal. When you eat protein, tryptophan enters your bloodstream, but it's not alone. It's in there with a whole crowd of other amino acids, and they are all in a race to get into the brain through this very selective doorway called the blood-brain barrier. The problem is, tryptophan on its own isn't a very good competitor. It kind of gets pushed to the back of the line.
And this is where carbs come in and save the day. And when you eat carbohydrates, your body releases insulin. And you can think of insulin as like a traffic cop. It basically tells all those other competing amino acids, hey you, get out of here and go to the muscles. This clears the road, leaving tryptophan all by itself. Suddenly, the path to the brain is wide open. Tryptophan can just waltz right in and get turned into glorious serotonin. So remember this, protein provides the bricks, but carbs provide the delivery truck. You need both.
You know, this effect is so powerful that some researchers have even called carbohydrate-rich foods a kind of edible antidepressant.
That's how crucial they are for helping our brain create this mood-regulating molecule.
And the benefits just keep rolling in. Serotonin is also what your body uses to make melatonin. Yep, the sleep hormone. So by getting enough tryptophan and the carbs to deliver it, you're not just improving your mood during the day, you're actually setting yourself up for better sleep at night. And that makes you more rested, more patient, and way more cooperative the next day. It's a simple formula. Better sleep equals better teamwork.
So, what does this actually look like on your plate? Well, for an evening meal that helps both your mood and your sleep, you want to focus on smart carbs. Things like sweet potatoes or corn are fantastic because they don't spike your blood sugar like crazy. Whole grains are also an excellent choice because they give you a slower, more sustained serotonin boost. The goal here is a nice, steady supply, not a wild sugar rush.
All right, we've gone through the science, the diet, the surprising role of carbs. Let's bring it all home and wrap this up with the key takeaways you need to start building a more cooperative brain. So here's what you really need to remember. First, serotonin is your brain's teamwork molecule. The science is solid. Higher levels lead to more cooperative behavior. The best part is you can actually influence it with what you eat. You need protein for the tryptophan. Those are the building blocks. But, and this is so important, you need carbs to act as the key that lets those building blocks into your brain. At the end of the day, it's simple. A well-fed brain leads to better sleep, and that leads to way better collaboration.
And that leaves us with one final thought. The next time you're getting ready for a big project or an important meeting, just remember that some of the most important prep work you do might actually start in your kitchen. So, the question is, what are you going to eat tonight for better teamwork tomorrow? Think about it.